In a village, there lives an old woman called Boyam. She lives alone. Boyam wants to have a child so she can take herself who is getting old. But it sounds impossible because Boyam not have a husband. Every day, Boyam go to the forest to find a firewood. One day in the middle of forest, he met a giant. He's very scary. His body is taller than a tree. Her skin is covered with a coarse fur. Her skin was dark. It contains a pair of very sharp fangs. The nails are long and counter. Boyam was very frightened. His body was trembling at the sight of the enormous creature.
The giant said in a very loud voice, "Hey, old lady, don't be afraid. I won't eat you. You are too old, your flesh is dark and bad. I come here just to give you something." The monster gives some details of the plant sheet and said, "Plant the sheet and take good care of them and you will get everything you have wanted all this time. But remember, you can enjoy it alone. You shall give it to me to as a token of gratitude." Boyam just nodded. He went straight to his house. When Boyam arrived at the house, according to the giant instruction, planted the seed.
Miraculously, the next day, the seed of the plant had grown into a cucumber plant. The fruit is big. When exposed to sunlight, it shines like gold. Out of curiosity about the cucumber fruit, finally we picked the biggest one. When he was placed, Boyam was very surprised. Inside the cucumber, there is a very beautiful baby girl. "So, this is what the giant said," he said to himself. How happy Boyam is. I never imagined that I would have such a beautiful daughter. Because he was born from a golden cucumber, the child was named Timun Mas.
The next day in the forest, Boyam met again with the giant. The giant said, "You have got what you want so far. In accordance with your promise, you must share it with me." Boyam was confused. He asked, "How can a baby girl be divided?" "Don't confuse the old lady. You can have it until the age of 17. Next, the child will be my food," obviously giant. "Okay, giant, I will take care of the child and consider the child my own son until the age of 17 years, said Boyam. Timun Mas grew into a very kind and beautiful girl. Her skin is olive yellow, his body was tall, her hair was shiny black. The more days her beauty, the more visible it is.
Timun Mas is also very diligent in helping his mother. He always accompanies his mother to find firewood in the forest. Timun Mas' kindness makes Boyam worry about losing him. He really loved Timun Mas to be the giant's meal. Year after year, it keeps changing. Now Timun Mas has turned 17 years old. It was time for the giant to take Timun Mas. Boyam to order Timun Mas to hide in the room. Suddenly, there was a very loud death. It was the sound of the giant footsteps. Boyam was trembling with fear. "Woman's Day, where the girl you promised me?" shouted the giant. Mother is talking about it and crying for Mr.
His body was very smelly. You definitely won't like to eat it, said Boyam. "Alright, I'll be back in a week. Make sure when I come back he's ready for me. Take it to the forest," the giant snapped. "Of course, sir, I will not disappoint you," said Boyam. So the giant went back to the forest. Boyam and Timun Mas were very relieved. They still have a week to be together. However, after a week had passed and the giant came back, this mother and child still did not want to separate. Timun Mas went back into hiding. Time. It's in the kitchen in an empty water jar. Hey, old lady, I'm back to collect your promise. Quickly hand over your daughter.
Shouted the giant. Sorry, Mr. Jane. Timun Mas is sailing word to the village. If you come here in the morning, you will definitely tell me them, said Poyem. If angry the giant shouted, okay, I'll give you one more week. If your child doesn't give up to me, I'll destroy your house. Poyem is getting scared and confused by the tree of the monster. She really does not want my beautiful Tara to be eaten by the cruel monster, saying his mother condition. Timun Mas said, Mother, do not be sad. Let me be the monster will timjar Timun Mas. No, my son, Mother will not let you fall. Pray to the dead, evil Jane. Mother will do anything to save you, said Poyem.
Then Bohem went to meet a powerful grandfather who lived in the mountains. The magic grandfather gave cucumber seeds, a thorn, a sword, and a pitch of strime each. A week later, the giant came again. This time, the giant could hold back his emotion. Big feet stomped to the ground so that the earth shook. Hair up and hand over your child, or destroy the house with you. I am very hungry, shouted the giant. Sorry, O giant. My son is walking to the forest. Go back to the forest where you live. Timun Mas is already there, Bo said Ling.
At the time, Timun Mas has left the house through the back door. He broke all the objects that the grandfather of the mountain gave him. When going back to the forest, the giant saw Timun Mas running from behind the house, in pursuit of Timun Mas. Panic too. Timun Mas still remembers his mother ordered to grow a cucumber seed. The cucumber seed immediately turned into cucumber filled with glad fruit. Due to hunger, the giant ate the cucumber in the field. After a few, he returned to kiss Timun Mas. Even though his stomach was full, his walking flew.
Down, the giant was still able to chase Timun Mas because of his long footsteps. When the giant is near, Timun Mas threw a thorn toward turned into a bamboo forest. The bamboo forest slows down the giant pet. His body is covered with wounds from being stabbed by a bamboo stick. However, the giant didn't give up. He continued to chase his prey this time. Timun Mas threw a grain of salt. The salt turned into a vast ocean. The giant had to swim to chase Timun Mas. He succeeded, but his body was very tired. The giant continued to chase Timun Mas.
Even though he was tired, Timun Mas drew a piece of stream paste. This time, the stream paste turned into suction mud. The giant screamed for help as his body got sucked in by the mud. The hot giant body was unable to resist the suction of the mud due to extensions. He was killed by the mud. So, the history of the evil giant is over. After being free from the evil giant, the lives of Timun Mas and Poyem are improving. Timun Mas met a friend from across the country. Her friends fell in love with her. They got married. Timun Mas and Poyem were carried off by the prince to his palace. They lived happily ever after.